that I was working in Bank of Baroda as a manager and as an officer PO ga join ayyanu akkada. So it's good that you have started the preparation and many things are there to learn actually. అది ముందుటి నుంచే మొదలు పెట్టకపోతే ఆన్సర్ కొన్నిసార్లు వస్తుంది కానీ ఆ స్పీడ్ రాదు ఆన్సర్లు. ఇట్స్ వెరీ గుడ్. లెట్ మీ సీ ద హ్యాండ్అవుట్స్. సో ఏం చేద్దాం అని అంటే టుడే we will go with this one, ratio proportion. Okay, last time 2020 questions from ratio and proportion, there were 2 questions on ratio and proportion. So coming to this part, we will go with the arithmetic and logical reasoning. Aptitude lo మేము ఏం చేస్తాం, so that is, let me on this. పర్వాలేదు, బాగానే ఉందా? అది దీనికి లింక్ అయ్యే మైక్ ఏది? మైక్ 3వా? ఓకే ఓకే, రైట్ సార్. సో సతీష్ చిన్న హెల్ప్ చేస్తావా? దట్ ఈస్ దిస్ వన్. ఇది తీసేయడం. అండ్ ఎంతమంది ఉన్నారు అన్ని పేపర్స్ ప్లస్ నాకు ఒకటి. ఓకే, సో you know that paper 1 there will be an analytical reasoning, logical reasoning, then aptitude, 50 questions దీంట్లో ఉన్నాయి. పేపర్ 1 SSC-JE పేపర్ 1 అని అంటాను. అండ్ దాని తర్వాత జీకే కరెంట్ అఫైర్స్ ఇంక్లూడింగ్ కరెంట్ అఫైర్స్ 50 క్వశ్చన్ అండ్ యువర్ కోర్ సబ్జెక్ట్ 100 questions. So in this there are combination of the 2 area, that is one is the arithmetic part and the second is the reasoning one. Most of the question in the last 2 years comes from reasoning compared to arithmetic, but anyhow I have to learn the arithmetic enduku anante చిన్న questions వస్తాయి దాంట్లో. The moment I'll be able to, if I know, I can able to score, and the score from question reasoning will be the same as the score of arithmetic also. Okay, so I'm not discussing what all the chapters in arithmetic. The basic arithmetic lo unna chapters avanni unti, that is simple equations, ratio, proportion, variation, the percentage, profit and loss, and then comes to the next one like time and work, time and distance, average, alligation, mixture, simple interest, compound interest. So these all are the main topics. Other than that there are sub topics are there, so adi koddiga pakkana pedam. These things we are expected to know in arithmetic. Coming to an reasoning, there are too many things are there like analogy, like classification, so like series, the number series, letter series, like coding and decoding, and then blood relations and directions, and the paper folding, and that non-verbal and Venn diagram, and then non-verbal reasoning lo figures ఒక sequence ఉంటుంది. Something like this is one figure is there, here it is dollar, here it is hash, and here I will put some at the rate, and here equal to. The next there will be a change in the figure positions, next change in the figure positions, అలా 4 figure change చేస్తారు. దాని 5th figure is your answer. So in non verbal లో ఇది series, అలాగే non verbal లో analogy ఉంటుంది. These 2 figures are similar in a certain way. One figure will be given to you, you find out the next figure. That is one way. The second is classification, odd one out. There are 5 figures are there, then 4 figures are similar in a certain way, one does not fit into that. Ala non-verbal lo manaki series kuda untundi, classification, analogies kuda untundi. That is the one. And cubes and dice, that is again one of the important chapters for that. So those all things falls under the reasoning part. Don't worry for that. All these questions are very small questions, not lengthy in nature. But one area, that is puzzles. One area that is puzzles. So puzzles, there are variety of puzzles are there. Most of the puzzles are about a seating arrangement. Seating arrangement. Over the seating arrangement, we have the two type of seating arrangement. You people are sitting in a linear way. Linear way. This is called row seating arrangement. The same way when we will sit for a dinner in a hotel. So we will be sitting in a circular way. So the linear seating arrangement and circular seating arrangement. Linear seating arrangement with the very single information that there are 6 people are there sitting in a row. Now A is not left to the B. That means A must be right of B, if not left of B. A is not adjacent to B. That wherever B is there, A should not be neither to the left nor to the immediate right. So these kind of conditions will be there. Other than that, there is another information will be added. So there are 5 people are there. They work in 5 different city. So now A is not from Chandigarh. The one who is Chandigarh is sitting second to the left of B. So this kind of terminologies will be there. So that is where seating arrangement linear and circular. So that is the important area. Other than that, double lining up. There are 5 people are there. They are from the 5 different cities and they like the 5 different cars. So now we have to, the scattered information will be there, you arrange it. So that's another way of puzzle, and like that networking and many more type of puzzles are there. First round we will go with the most commonly asked question in the last 5 years in that SSC-JE loading questions. So that type of questions we will get in command. And then we can go with some miscellaneous or the least asked questions in the puzzles. So all these things we will go through in this class. So I will be taking both arithmetic as well as reasoning. As I said, I had been working since 1999. I am working in this field with time. You must be knowing that previously time was very big name. Now koduga alaga down ayipindi oppudu, but that's time. Where I was taking the classes were all CAT, GRE, GMAT, that quantity, aptitude, LR and DI, these things. So that's what. So coming to this, we will cover this part. So I will start with a chapter which is very not only important itself. There is an questions on that, but it is also applicable in all the other arithmetic chapter. And that is ratio, the ratio, proportion, variation. Okay. So let's begin with this chapter, that is ratio, proportion and variation. Okay. The very first thing is, what is ratio? The ratio is nothing but a numerical comparison between two similar quantity. So what I am saying, the ratio is nothing but numerical comparison between two or more similar quantity. Now you may ask that what is that numerical comparison between two or more similar quantity. Let's take a very simple example, that in class A we have 60 students, whereas in class B we have 80 students. So what we say is that's A by B, which is nothing but 60 by 80, which is nothing but 3 by 4. So the ratio of the students of class A to B is 3 is to 4, which 3 is to 4 we see. That means when I say that the class A and B ratio is 3 is to 4, That means if 3 part is the number of student in A, then 4 part is the number of student in B. So I will not be able to find out exact number, but what I can say is A is to B, which is 3 is to 4. And if I have to write this in terms of number, then I will be writing this as 3x and 4x. Now the ratio 3 is to 4. This number is depending on what value I put for x, and x could be any natural number. That is starting from 1. So 1, 2, 3 and so on and so forth. It may go up to infinity. Now how do I get the x value? So we will have some further informations in order to get the x value. And once I get the x value, suppose the x value is 10. We got it, but additional information. Then what happens? 3x will be 30. What will be the value of 4x? The 4x will be 40. X is equal to 10. Then this is 30, 40. If x is equal to 100, then this 300 and 400. Now this depends on what the x value is, with we get it from the additional information. Okay, this is what the ratio is. Now if I ask you that a person A and B is there, and A covers 1500 meters and B covers 2 kilometers. Can I say the ratio is 1500 is to 2? And then cancel it, and then 750 is to 1. Can I say that? No. Why? Because there is not the similar quantity. There is not the similar quantity of the similar quantity. That means if it is in meter, this should be in meter. If you write this in kilometer, then this should also be in kilometer. So that means what I am expected to take is not this 1500 and 2. If I take the 1500 over here, so obviously I will be taking 2000 over here, right sir? So when I cancel this one, you notice that this is 3 is to 4. This is a distance coverage ratio of A to B. Now here whenever ratio is there, something like here A is to B, A by B is equal to 3 by 4. So what I can say about A with respect to B, the A is equal to 3/4 of B. Can I say that sir? And the same way, now when A by B is equal to 3 by 4, can I say B is equal to 4/3 of A? So it connects the relations of numerical comparison between two or more quantities of the similar quantity. Okay. Now if I say here that can I get the same kind of ratio with three items? Yes, we can get the 3 items. Let's assume that the weight of A is 40 and weight of B is equal to 60 and weight of C is equal to 80 kg. So what is the ratio of that? So I will remove all the common of A, B and C. Rather I prefer to write in this way: A, B and C. This is 40 and this is 60 and this is 70. Take out all the common, so I can see that 0 if you take out common, that is 4 is to 6 is to 7. So this is what the ratio is, right? Okay. Now ratio could be of 2 or more, not only the 2 quantities, 2 or more similar quantity. Now if I give you an case to you that in the school A and B, the number of students are in 2:5 ratio. What does it mean? Do you know how many students are there in school A? Can I say that it is 2 and 5? No, I don't know. 2 and 5 is also 2:5. But can it also be 20 and 50? It could also be 200 and 500. It could something else. It could keep going on. Now ratio is a abstract value, not the absolute value. Abstract value, which only gives you the relation from one number to another number, but it does not represent the absolute value, right? Now coming to this part, what if we have this ratio? A is to B is to C is equal to 1 by 2 is to 1 by 3 is to 1 by 4. Then this ratio has to be converted into integer ratio. This fraction ratio is there, it has to be converted into integer ratio. So how do I convert this into integer ratio? So I will take the LCM of all the denominators. I will take the LCM of all the denominators. So the LCM of all the denominators is 3, 4 and 6. LCM is 12. And then 12 into multiply this all this ratio by 12. You will be getting the ratio in integer. Ratio in integer. So what is that? 1 by 2 into 12, that is 6, and 1 by 3 into 12, that's 4, and 1 by 4 into 12, that is 3. So this is what the ratio is. So whenever the ratio is there in fraction or the mixed fraction, so mixed fraction can be converted into fraction, and from fraction I can find out this way. And the same thing can be done in another way. The second method of this. Okay, ma. Thank you. I asked previous question and mechanical engineer paper itself by mistake. Anyhow, so let's move on. So this is what the ratio is. The same thing can be done in a different way. This is first way of doing it. The second way of doing it, when 1 by 2 is to 1 by 3 is to 1 by 4 is there, then if this is A, this is B and this is C. Some of you must be knowing this one. ఎందుకంటే ఈ మధ్యలో కాలేజ్లో కూడా సిఆర్టీ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ అవన్నీ జరుగుతూ ఉంటాయి, రైట్? సో వాట్ ఈస్ ద అదర్ వే ఆఫ్ డూయింగ్ ఇట్ ఇస్, వెన్ ఎవర్ ద న్యూమరేటర్స్ ఆర్ 1 in all the cases, then you can take that A value. A value is 3 into 4, which is 12. Then B value, the B value is 2 into 4, that is 8. And the C value is 2 into 3, which is 6. And you will find that when I simplify this one further, then it's 6 is to 4 is to 3. I am getting the same thing over here. So that is these two, any of the methods you can follow it to convert this into the integer, and after that there will be some questions based on that. Okay. Now the same way, sometimes the ratio could be expressed in this way. Let me write down here. A father has this what? A father has distributed money among his 2 sons in such a way that 2 times of A is equal to 3 times of B. His 3 sons, 3 times of B, which is equal to 4 times of C. So what ratio? Then again you may go for that is A by B is equal to 3 by 2. So I am getting the ratio of A to B is 3 is to 2, and you can go for B by C is equal to 4 is to 3, and by using the continued ratio you can find it out. I will tell you what is continued ratio. Okay, you can combine these ratios, the 2 different ratios. A is A to B and good morning sir, A to B and B to C. You can combine this part, or else there is another way how you can do is A is to B is to C is that is 4 into 3, that's 12 comes to A. B 2 into 4, that's 8, and C 3 into 2, which is 6. Did you notice that this is A 1 by 2, A 1 by 2, B 1 by 3, B 1 by 3, and then C 1 by 4, C 1 by 4. I can write that way, and then you can convert from there to this stage, or else you can directly multiply 3, 4 is 12, and B 2, 4 is 8 and C 3, 2 is 6. Further it is 6 is to 4 is to 3. That's what the ratio is. So you are expected to know these two parts. Sometimes the ratio could not be given directly, but either given in fraction or is in the term of equation. So how to convert them into the ratio, these two parts. Okay, fine. Now, if I ask you to solve this question, very introductory part of question that is given to us is A is to B. Example 1, A is to B, which is equal to 4 is to 5. Then find, that's 4A plus 3B by 3A plus 2B. Can you please write down this? Let's start understanding everything from the very basic side. So that is A is to B is 4 is to 5. Now you are asked to find out what is 4A plus 3B by 3A plus 2B. So what I know is this is only the ratio, it's not a value. So in order to convert that in a value, I should consider A as 4x and B as 5x, and based on the x value I will be getting the value on this. So let's try to replace the A by 4x and B by 5x and solve this. So here 4 into 4x, I am just writing initially the whole detail. The next time we will not be writing because we know 4 into 4 16x we are talking of. So that is B. The B is 5x, so this is 3 into 5x by, that's 3A, I will replace 4x here, so this is 3 and 4x and plus 2B, that is what is B here, 5x, so I will replace this by 5x. So when I solve this one, what I get over here is, that is 16x plus 15x by, that's 12x plus 5 to 10 x. The moment I get the x value, I will be able to get the answer of it. But can you see that this is 16 plus 15, that is 31x by, that is 22x, and this x gets cancelled. So here I don't need the x value because x is getting cancelled, eliminated. So even though I am not getting the and I don't have the x value, but we can solve the equation here. And finally the answer for that is 31 by 22. So please write down this one. This is your answer. And similar type of questions I will give one more. Please write down, sir. Done? Okay. Fine. Let's take the similar type of question, example 2. Now here the x is to y is equal to 3 is to 2. Then find the value of 3x square plus 4y square by 2x plus 3y. So once you write, we will start solving this. So the same thing I will do now. I will consider the number, this is x as 3x x as 3x and the y, capital Y, this capital X, capital Y, and the y as 2x, and I will replace the x by 3x and y by 2x. So here I get that 3 into, that's 3x whole square plus 4 into y, here y is nothing but 2x, so 2x whole square by that is 2 into, that's x which is 3x plus 3 and y which is 2x, and further if I go for the simplification, this is under the square, so when I remove the bracket this become 9, so 9 x square, so 9 into 3 is become 27 x square plus, what happens, this is 4 because square is there, 4 16 x square, right, by what happens here, 2 3 is 6x plus 3 2 is 6x, that's done. Now further when I simplify this, then I get this as 27 plus 16 and that's 43. So this is 43x square by that is 12x. Now as x square, that is x into x, so I will cancel one x over here, then this square will get cancelled and still x is left. I don't have any source to find out what's the x value. If the x is 1, we have different answer. If x is 1000, we have different answer. So therefore we can't answer the question. We call it as cannot be determined. C and D cannot be determined. This equation does not have a single or unique answer. It could be a multiple answers depending on x value, and we don't know what x. Why we were able to answer the previous equation? Not this, because in previously it was the x here and y here, so not x square or y square. So had it been here x square and y square in denominator also, then this x square and x square would have been cancelled. So as the powers in numerators and the powers in denominator has changed, I will not be able to answer the question. Right, sir? Okay, fine. So now type of ratio. Can I erase this? Writing is done. Okay. Now we will move on to the next type of ratio. What the type of ratio we are talking about? Couple of type of ratios are there, which are very basic, fundamental in nature. If A is to B is a ratio, so it's a duplicate ratio. Duplicate ratio. What is its duplicate ratio? The duplicate ratio is nothing but the square of A and the square of B. That is A square is to B square. So that is A square is to B square is the duplicate ratio of A is to B. Okay. The second one is subduplicate ratio. Subduplicate ratio. So that is nothing but if A is to B is a ratio, its subduplicate is square root of A is to square root of B. So sometimes they may instead of directly giving the ratio as a 4:9, they may say that the subduplicate ratio of the income of A and B is that is 16 is to 81. Subduplicate ratio. So what I need to find it out? That is the subduplicate ratio of A and B will be class much. So that is subduplicate ratio of A and B is square root of A is to square root of B. So the A and B income ratio is a subduplicate of 16 is to 81. If this terminology is used, we are expected to know they are actually talking about square root of 16 is to square root of 81, which is nothing but 4 is to 9. So, subduplicate ratio of any ratio is square root of those ratios, that square root of A is to square root of B. Okay. The same way triplicate ratio of A is to B is A cube is to B cube. So, and the last part is a subtriplicate ratio, which is a cube root of A is to cube root of B. Cube root of A. Subduplicate ratio, square root of A is to square root of B. Cube root of subtriplicate ratio, triplicate ratio is cube, subtriplicate ratio is cube root. Right, sir? Okay. So, may I ask you the question to find out the duplicate ratio of 3 is to 4, triplicate ratio of 2 is to 3, subduplicate ratio of 16 is to 9. Yes. Duplicate ratio of 3 is to 4? Yes, 9 is to 16. Done. Here, triplicate ratio 8 is to 27. Done. And here it is subduplicate ratio 4 is to 3. 4 is to 3. Okay. Now, one more ratio is left, and that is continued ratio. Let's this is an important one, understand it, and so many times we have an application of this continued ratio. What is continued ratio? I will take the two ratio here, and one ratio A is to B, which is 3 is to 5, and second ratio B is to C, and which is 5 is to 7. So, they are the two independent ratios. This is ratio 1 and this is ratio 2, and they are the terms, that A is a term, B is a term. When I say the term, I am talking about A and the B. When I say ratio, I am talking about A is to B. So, we have the two ratios are there. Now, combining these two, can you notice that there B is a common in both the ratio, common term in both the ratio? Therefore, I can combine this ratio and calling them as A is to B is to C, which is a continued ratio of these two ratios. Right? We'll learn from the scratch. Some of you must be knowing some of the facts, but still I am dealing with as if you know nothing. So, from the very beginning I am starting this part. So, that is A is to B is to C is a continued ratio of ratio 1 and ratio 2. When I can make a continued ratio? When we have a common term in any two ratios, then we can combine it. That combined ratio is called continued ratio. Now, how do I make that? Then this is 3 is to 5, 3 is to 5, and then B is to C, which is 5 is to 7. So, did you observe that this is B, which is common between both the ratio, and here I can notice that accidentally in the first ratio the B is 5 and in the second ratio also B is 5. So it is very simple to merge them. So then A is to B is to C is 3 is to 5 is to 7, because B is 5 in the first ratio and B is also 5 in the second ratio. So therefore you can simply place them, merge them, and calling it as A is to B is to C is the continued ratio of given two ratios. Okay. Now will I get every time the same way? So let's take the another example. So here let's take the ratio 1 A is to B. I will take this ratio as 2 is to 3, and ratio 2 is B is to C, and which is 4 is to 5. Now what you notice here? Can I make it a continued ratio? Depend on whether we have a common term between the two ratio or not. Now I notice that yes, B is a common term between these two. Okay, so I can combine this and call it as A is to B is to C. So let's do that. A is to B is to C. And what is A is to B? That's 2 is to 3. And what is B is to C? That's 4 is to 5. Unlike this, I don't find that these two are common number. Here it was a common number, so I directly merged it. But here we in ratio 1 the B is 3 and in ratio 2 B is 4. So what I need to do, I will take the LCM of 3 and 4 and then make it common by multiplying by a certain number. So what is the LCM of 3 and 4? So the LCM is 12. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. So multiply the first ratio by 4. So when I multiply the first ratio by 4, 4 3 12, and here 4 is there. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. So multiply this by 3, you will be getting the 12 here. So I will rewrite this again, and this is only to understand, but this is not the way we do it, it's only to understand it. So 4 2 is 8 and 4 3 is 12, and 4 3 is 12 here, and 4 5 is 3 5. 3 4 is 12 and 3 5 is 15. Now merge these two because both are the same value. So it's the similar to this now. So now I call it as 4 is to 12 is to 15. What is that? 3 4 12 and 3 5 15. Okay. I made a mistake over here. That 4 into 2 is 8. Okay, thank you. What's your name? What's your name? Huh? Lohit. Rohit or Lohit? Lohit. Right, Lohit? So this is 8 is to 12. So that is 8. So 8 is to 12 is to 15. If any common number is there to cancel, we will cancel that. Okay, but is this the way actually to do it? No. That's only to understand here that A is to B is to C, where A is to B is 2 is to 3 and B is to C is 4 is to 5. So what we do, we go for the cross multiplication here. That is 2 4 is 8, and here go for cross multiplication, vertical multiplication. That is 3 4 is 12, and here cross multiplication. 3 5 is 15. So this is the way we work out in case of continued ratio, in order to get the continued ratio. Okay. Now I will give some question to you here. Here example 2, if A is to B is equal to 2 is to 3 and B is to C is equal to 5 is to 7, 5 is to 7, then find A is to B is to C. That's one. And one more example, if A is to B is equal to 2 is to 3, B is to C is equal to 4 is to 5, and C is to D, which is equal to C is to D is equal to 1 is to 3, okay, 1 is to 3, then find the continued ratio of A is to B is to C is to D. Let's work out these two simple examples. I am sure first one you can work out, that's 2 is to 3 and 5 is to 7. It's a good start. I really appreciate that you have started. By the time the people will come after notification, your almost 20-30% of the syllabus will be over, and it will help you to go for the multiple revisions, which will enhance your understanding, conceptual understanding, and the speed part. Vizag sir. So let's what is the first one? Okay, 2 into 5 is 10, 3 5 is 15, and 7 3 is 21. Done? Okay. What about the third one? I'll separately take this third one here. We have the 3 ratio. Look at this one. Here it's the ratio 1. Here we have ratio 2, and here we have ratio 3. So first I will combine this first and second ratio, where I notice that B is common. So that is something like this one. So let's work out here. That's what is A is to B is to C. Now A is to B is what did I write? 2 is to 3, right? 2 is to 3. I am sorry, I made a mistake of writing 23. 2 is to 3. So here it's 2 is to 3. Lohit, and then B is to C, 4 is to 5. So I can first combine this and make a ratio of A is to B is to C, and then merge C is to D. Can I do it? I can do only when there is a common term. So here the C and here C. C is a common term. So it can be merged with A is to B is to C. So first find it out this one what it is. That's 2 4 is 8, 3 4 is 12, and 3 5 is 15. And after that I will take D over here. Now write down C is to D, and the C is to D is 1 is to 3. So if 1 is to 3, then what happens over here? So that is, this is 1. C is the common term. Here C is 15. And the second one, C is 1. So I should make these two equal. In order to make this two equal, what I will do is, I will multiply this by 15. So it's become 15, and 15 and 15 I can merge this. So that is 15 into 3. Once you are multiplying a ratio, don't multiply only a term. You have to multiply all the term of that ratio. All the terms. So 15 into 1 is 15, and 15 3 is 45. So let's write down, that's 45, and this is 15, and this is 12, and this is 8. And further, if any cancellation is there, do it. Raskunar? Okay. So further it didn't get cancelled, so this is my answer. Okay. More importantly, that sometimes they simply ask in this question, find this is find A is to B is to C. This is one question I made, and the second question they may ask is find A is to D. They are not asking A is to B is to C is to D. They are only asking the ratio between the first term and this is last term. Then I already know here now. Look at this. After working on, I know that this the first term is 8 and the last term is 45. So I notice that this ratio is my required ratio is 8:45. That's what the ratio is. But do I need to do all this activity in order to get the A is to D? No. There is an alternate way, and this is the very frequently asked question, because the people well prepared only can know that okay, it should not be done this way. Look at this. I will be writing A is to B as A by B. The question 2 I am answering over here. So that is A is to B, which is 2 is to 3. I will write it as a 2 by 3. Okay. So and B is to C into, that's C is to D, which is equal to, that's 2 by 3 into 4 by 5 into 1 by 3. Okay. In the process what happens, notice that Lohit, so this BB gets cancelled, CC gets cancelled. So I left with the very first term and the last term. The middle terms are getting cancelled. So what will be this A is to D? Then A is to D is equal to, so any cancellation is possible? No. So that is 4 into 2 is 8 and 9 5 is 45. Look at this one, 8 is to 45. The same thing happened here. So notice, if whenever they ask about the relation between the first term and the last term, so we are adopting this process. Please note down. Done? What's your name? Huh? Vamsi. Right, Vamsi. Done? Now the ratio are used for distribution of the money. I request you to write down a very basic question, and then we will see multiple angle of that question. A father distributed an amount of rupees 6,000 among his 3 children A, B and C in the ratio of 3:4:5. Find the share of each child. Okay. Do it very calm and a cool way. We are not in a hurry. And please look at this. Look at the board, please. What has happened is that the money is distributed among these 3 people, A, B and C. 3:4:5. That means the money is divided in how many parts? 3 parts plus another 4 parts plus another 5 parts. The total I am getting, this is 7 plus 5 is 12 parts. The whole 6,000 is divided in 12 parts. Out of these 12 parts, 3 part is given to A and 4 part is given to B and 5 part is given to C. So what is the share of A? If I say, then the A share will be total 6,000, out of which he gets 3 part out of 12 parts, because it made 12 parts. And where did I get the 12? So the sum of the parts. So that is 3 by 12. The same way, if I ask to find out what is the share of B out of this 6,000, how many parts he gets? 4 parts out of total 12 parts. So therefore, give that 4 parts divided by 12 parts. Yes or no? Can you just find out the C? Can you just find out the C instead of working on all? Do it, sir. Although I am discussing the very basic question. What is the share of C? Okay. So as we are working out the share of C, that is 6,000, which is divided in 12 parts, out of which the 4 parts has to be given to C. Not 4 part, 5 parts. So 5 part will be given to C. So now with 12, 5 is 60 and 0 and 0, that is 500, and the 5 is 25, 2,500 goes to C. Okay. So for the distribution of among A, B and C, I can find out the A part, B part, C part. Now along with that, I'll also learn few other things. Now if they ask, what is the difference of money given between A and C? If this is what I need to find it out. Difference between A and C. So are you going to find out the value money of A and the money of C and then find out the difference? No. What I know is the money distributed in this order, A is to B is to C, which is 3 is to 4 is to 5. This is a 3 part is given. Out of 12 parts, the 3 part is given to A and 5 part is given to C. So what is the difference in terms of parts? So that is 2 part. The difference is 2 parts out of how many parts? The total number of parts, and that is 12. So I will directly find out the difference, which is 2 part out of 12 part of 6,000. So that is, let me write down over here, that is 6,000 into 2 out of 12. So this 1 by 6, 6,000, that comes 1,000. It's the difference between A and C. Please write down. Okay. If I ask you, just wanted to make sure that you understood this one. So the share of B and C together is how much more than A? Now this time I ask that share of B and C together is how much more than that of A? So how do we deal in the situations like this? We know A is to B is to C, these all are capital letter. A is to B is to C, which is 3 is to 4 is to 5. Share of B and C together, this one, B and C together is how much more than that of A? So together how many parts? This together is 9 parts. and the A remains 3 parts. So the difference is 9 minus 3, that is 6 parts difference. Out of how many parts? The sum of the parts, that is 12. That is what the difference between B and C to that of A. So that means we are dealing with the parts, not actually with the value. So that reduces the volume of work. So here what should be the answer? That is 6000 into 6 by 12, which is nothing but half, which is 3000 should be the answer. Okay? Thanks. Let's write down one very fundamental question. That's the ratio of two numbers is 2:3. Is 2:3. If 12, 2. If 12 is added to both the number, if 12 is added to both the number, the ratio become 5:7. Find the original numbers. Find the original numbers. Okay, allow me to explain this first. I know some of you will definitely answer the question. So here what I will do is, the initial number, that ratio is 2:3. I will consider the number as 2x and 3x. The moment you put the x, it's become a number. So that is, this is 2x by this is 3x. These are the numbers. Now what you did in that, you added 12 to it. 12 to both the numbers. So I will add 12 over here. This is 12 and this is 12. And what the ratio become? 5:7. That's 5/7. I got an equation. So you know that there is one variable, one equation, so I can get the x value. And once I get the x value, I can get what is 2x and what is 3x. Right? So let's finish this part. That is 14x plus 12/7 is 84, which is equal to 5/3 is 15x plus 12/5 is 60. As this gets cancelled over here, x when it goes the other side will become minus. So that is 24. As x is 24, then what is 2x? 48, and what is 3x? That's 72. These are the numbers. Okay. What's your name? Vamsi Krishna. You are also Vamsi. What's your name? A Vamsi Krishna. How? A Vamsi Krishna. Is it? A for apple. Okay. Lohit, is this clear, sir? Good. Same SSC-JE, similar question was there. A ratio was given, something is added. I will show you. I just forgot the booklet at my home. Tomorrow will come. We will discuss that questions. You will find exactly the same. So I know how to answer the question, but now we will know, come to know how to answer it in a competitive way. This is what the book way of expressions, and you are expected to know it. Now, what is the competitive way to answer the same question? Here it is 2:3 and here it is 5:7, and as both the number added to both the number is same. Here 12 is added and here 12 is added. The difference from here to here and here to here should remain same. So here when 2 plus 3 is 5, here plus 3 and here it's plus 4, it's not same. Here I am getting one part as 4, 3 part is 12, then one part as a 4. Here I am getting 4 parts as 12, then one part is 3. There is an inconsistency in the one part value. So therefore, what I expected to do is, let's take the difference between these two terms. And what is the difference? 1. With 1 you multiply the opposite ratio. So with 1 the ratio will remain same. When you multiply anything with 1, it remains same. Okay, what the second thing you are expected to do is, here whatever difference is there in these two terms, with that difference multiply the opposite ratio. So what is the difference? The difference is 2, and multiply this one. 2 into 2 is 4 and 2 into 3 is 6. Now you will find that difference left hand side, right hand side will be equal. So from here to here, that's one part difference, from here to here one part addition, and one part is equal to 12. When one part is equal to 12, then what is 4 part? 12 4 48. My first number is 48. One part is 12, then what is the 6 part? 12 6 is 72. So what are those numbers? 48 and 72. That is how the competitive approach. This is what to understand, and some of the times we have to go with this. There are certain circumstances, but the questions, plain question like this, we can follow the second method. We should follow the second method. Okay. Lohit, done? Write down the next question. Few basic where through the help of that question solution you will be understanding some concepts, some techniques to handle the questions. So write down this. The total number of students in two schools A and B, two schools A and B is 625. And the ratio of student is 13:12. Ratio of the students is 13:12. Nothing is mentioned, it's in the same order, right? A and B is there, so 13:12, that 13 belongs to A and 12 belongs to B, that is understood. If X students are shifted from B to A, if X students shifted from B to A, the ratio become 3:2. Find X. Okay. Can someone help me to understand how to respond this question? Very first part is, I know the A plus B. I also know the A and B ratio. By using this ratio, I can find out the number of students in A and number of students in B. That is very first job of mine. And then I will take the replacement. So let's solve it over here. That is number of students in A is 625 into 13 parts out of 25 parts. 13 by 25. You know that this is 25 square and 25 into 13. That comes 13 5 is 65. 13 5 is 65, carry 6, and 13 2 is 26, 32. This is what the number of students in A. So the number of students in B will be the remaining one. So either you use the ratio here, that is 12 by 25 of 625, or 625 minus 325. So it is 300. We got this one. Now first part is done. The next is, let's take care of the shifting part. X number of students shifted from where? From B to A. So that is A by B. What happens? That is A is 325. 325, that is A, and the B is 300, and the shifting is from B to A. So I should make the minus X here. And where did they go? They go to B. So I just have to add plus X here. And after that a ratio is framed or the formed. That is 3 by 2. So now by solving the equation I will get the X value. Yes or no? So gradually we are moving forward to understand the application of the ratios in a better way. So let's move on here. That's 650 plus 2x, which is equal to 900, which is equal to 900 minus 3x. The rest part you know better than me. Satish, center lo unnana leda camera ki telustunda? ఓహో 3 పడతాయా? ఓకే రైట్, థ్యాంక్ యూ. సో ప్లీజ్ టెల్ మీ వాట్ ఈస్ ఎక్స్? Yeah, Lohit, 50, 50. Okay. Oh, it's a basic calculation. We are expected to do it faster. So here when 3x comes over here, it's become 5x, and when 650 comes over here, 900 minus 600 is 300, 300 minus 50 is 250. So that's right, 250. So x is equal to nothing but 50. So how many numbers shifted from B to A? It's 50. Okay. Next, Arun, Varun and Kiran had a total of rupees 8,000 with them. A total of rupees 8,000 with them. They spent rupees 50, rupees 100 and rupees 200 respectively. the remaining amount with them, are in the ratio of 14:22:15. 14:22:15. Find the initial money with Varun. Find the initial money with Varun. See that gradually we are lifting ourselves to understand this. Now, what is this ratio? Is this ratio is of 8,000? No. That's what we need to understand, that after spending this money, the leftover money is in this ratio. So, what I have to do is, from the total money, I will take out this money. What is that total here from here to here? So, that is 350. Now, I will take out 350, that is 8,000 minus, so let me remove these figures, minus 350, and that comes, that's 7,650. This is the money in this ratio. So, from using this ratio, this is what the Varun is second person, I think. So, I will find out the Varun money of this, and then it is asked that what is the initial money of Varun. The Varun spends 100. So, whatever the value comes from here, to that I will add 100 in order to get the initial money. You are understanding that part? So, can you please work out on this? If anyone get the answer, please let us know. Don't miss the class. Vamsi Krishna. Very, very good things you are really going to learn, because I know what you are going to get is directly relevant to what comes in exam. And there are so many things we have to learn. In the exam only we will have 50 questions. But in order to answer 50 questions, where from the 50 question comes, we have to go for 5,000 questions. Right? Okay. Done? 3400. So, let's check that whether Vamsi Krishna, A Vamsi Krishna 3400, whether it's correct or not. So, that is 7,650 into, I will take the 22 parts out of, that's 14 and 22 is 36, 46, 51. So, this is 51, it must be going with 51. So, 1 times this is 5 and this is how many times? 2 times, then again it goes 5 times. So, that is and followed by 0. So, finally, this person gets 0, 15 to 30, carry 3 and 15 to 30, 33 plus this is what the money after spending that 100 rupees. Varun's money. But question asked that what is the initial money? So in order to get the initial money, that should be 3,300 plus 100, which is 3,400, which Vamsi Krishna rightly said, 3,400. That's right. Right, Vamsi Krishna? What's your initial?
D.
D. Okay. Right. So we will take up another type of question. Shall we start? Now, the ratio of the age of a woman, the ratio of the age of a woman to her daughter is 7:3. To her daughter is 7:3. Woman to her daughter. For woman I am writing W and for daughter I write D. The woman was 26 years old. Woman age was 26 years. That is, woman was 26 years old when she gave birth to her only son. When she gave birth to his only son, at that time the woman age was 26 years. If her daughter is 6 years elder to her son, if her daughter is 6 years elder to her son, find the present age of the woman. Writing is done. May I request you to look at the board? Okay. The woman age 26 years, when it was 26 years? When she gave birth to her son, only son. So that means when the woman was 26 years, then what was the age of the son?
0.
At my birth, what was my age? 0. 0 years. At your birth, what was your age? So your 0 years. So when the son is 0, the mother is 26. And it is said that sister is 6 years older to the son. So that daughter, when the son is 0, what will be the age of the daughter? What would have been the age of the daughter? 6 years. That 6 years gap will remain for the entire life. Right? If my brother is 2 years younger to me, so he was younger at the time of birth, 2 years younger. He was also 2 years younger when we were in college. Till now he will be 2 years younger. So the age gap remains same throughout the life tenure. So that is the daughter is 6. So I know that when the woman son was 0, the woman is 26 years and the daughter is 6 years. And at present the woman to daughter age is 7:3. So how do I write after how many years? I don't know after how many years we come to the present age. So I will consider that this woman 26 plus x years, and this one daughter, that is 6 plus x years. Both of them will increase by the same tenure. Then the ratio is become 7/3. Now we came to the mainstream now. From here simply Lohit, we solve the question. Yeah, go ahead. Huh? Woman and daughter difference age is 20 years. I will coming to that part. So beautifully you said, Lohit has beautifully identified. So this is 26 years woman age is, and the daughter age is this 26 years. The daughter age is 6 years. The gap between the woman age and the daughter age is 20 years. That is how logically we answer the question. The gap is how much? 20 years, and this gap will remain same throughout the life tenure. So when the woman and daughter, how many parts difference from year to year? 4 part difference. How many years difference? 20 years difference. That means 4 part is equal to 20 years. Then 1 part is equal to 4 years. 5 years. 1 part is equal to 5 years. So 7 part, how many years? 7, 5 years, 35 years. 3 part, how many years? 5, 3, 15 years. Right? So logically we answer the questions in this way. So that's what is the question? The question is find the age of the woman. So one way of solving this is the framing of equation. Right? We understand the question in this format, but actually the correct way of answering competitive approach is this approach, where 7 part is equal to 35 years. Well understood, Lohit. Right? Okay. D. Vamsi Krishna. If done, A. Vamsi Krishna, we will move on to the next question. Done? Okay. Write down one. Next question. A purse contains 1 rupee, 2 rupee and 5 rupee coins in the ratio of 5:2:1. Did you write the ratio? 5:2:1. The total value of all the coins in the purse are in the ratio of 5:2. The total value of all the coins in the purse is rupees 140. Now the question is, how many 2 rupee coins are there in the purse? How many 2 rupee coins are there in the purse? Okay, let's write down what it says. In a purse we have coins. What is those coins? Rupee 1, rupee 2 and rupee 5. And what is the ratio of their coins? Number ratio 5:2:1. And what is the total value of the coin? The total value of the coin is rupees 140. Now, before I answer the question, may I request Vamsi Krishna, D. Vamsi Krishna also. So, I have 100 rupees note in my pocket and 500 rupees note in my pocket. I have 5 notes over here and we have 2 notes over here. What is the value of 100 rupee notes in my purse? So, you will simply say that it is nothing but 500. How much value of a 500 note in my purse? So, that is 1000. What is the total money in my pocket? So, 500 plus 1000, you will say it is a 1500 is there, Mr. Narendra, in your purse, right? The same way, I do not know the number here. So, ratio, in order to convert that number, I will place some variable here, x. So, 5x, 2x and x. So, this is number, this is denomination, something like this is denomination and this is number. This is denomination and this is number. When I multiply this, I will get the number of 1 rupee coin, value of 1 rupee coin in my pocket. That is 5x into 1 is a 5x plus 2 rupee coin. I have 2x numbers. So, that is a 4x here plus 2 into 2, 4. Now, 5 into 1 is 5x. So, this is what the total money I have in my purse, which is equal to 140. Do I get the value of x? Yes, I will get the value of x. Then you asked how many 2 rupee coins are there. So, this 2 rupee coin is 2x, then I can number of coins. So, find it out. Yes, done. 21. Okay. Now, I can see that 14x is equal to this much. So, therefore, x is equal to 10 and then 2x I need. 2x is equal to 20. How many 2 rupees coins are there? 22 rupees coins are there. This is my answer. Like that, several other questions are there. So, on the same line. So, we will do it with the help of the handout, those questions. Okay. Next. Done? Okay. A sum of money which was supposed to be divided between A and B in the ratio of 3:5 was divided among A, B and C, was divided among A, B and C in the ratio of 6:5:4. Due to this, A gets rupees 3,000 more than expected. A gets rupees 3,000 more than expected. Initially, A was supposed to get rupees A, then he gets how much? rupees A plus 3000. That's what he gets because of this second distribution. It was distributed in this ratio, but by mistake it is distributed in this ratio. As a result, the A gets 3000 more. That means if suppose A was getting previously A rupee, then now he gets A plus 3000. Now the question is, then B got how much less than expected? B got how much less than expected? We will together understand this question. Okay. Look at this one. Initially, the whole money divided in how many? It was to be divided in how many parts? 3 parts plus 4 parts. That is it should be divided in 8 parts only, out of which the 3 part would have been gone to A and 5 part would have been gone to B. But instead of that, what happened is this distribution. That means the same money is made how many parts? That's 15 parts. 15 parts, right? Out of which the 6 part goes to A, 5 parts goes to B, and so on and so forth. So the same money is distributed, not the different amount. So if I assume that total money is X, let's assume that the total money is rupee X. Then this is X is divided in it should be divided in 8 parts, but for some reason it is divided in 15 parts. So what I do is this 8 parts represents rupees X. This 15 parts also represents the same value rupee X. So I will try to make these two equal by making getting the LCM of 8 and 15. So 8 and 15 are co-prime. That means they do not have any common factor other than 1. When I discuss the numbers chapter, I will definitely go in detail of that. Simply I will find out the LCM of 8 and 15. I know that's the LCM of 8 and 15 is the product of 8 and 15, that is 120. So I am multiplying this by 15, the total 120, multiplying by 8, this is 120. Now the number of parts has become equal in the first case and in the second case also. So what informations we have? The A got 3000 more. What is the number of part A got at initial stage? So when I multiply this by 15, I should multiply this also by 15. So 15 3 is 45 and 15 5 is 75. So 45 plus 75, you can say 120. Right? Now here you multiplied this by 8, then every part has to be multiplied by 8. So 8 6 is 48 and here 8 5 is 40. About B. Now A was supposed to get 45 parts, but accidentally distribution takes place in this way, as where he got 48 parts. Out of how many parts? 120. How many parts he got extra? So the A got extra, that is A extra is 48 minus 40, that is 8 part out of 120 parts. 48 and 45. Okay. So 5, then in 3 part extra. So this is what the extra is. Of what? Of the total money. So that means I know that 3 by 20th 120th of X, only to make you understand I am writing all the steps, otherwise we know that 3 by 20 120 is nothing but 1 by 40. No? So 3 by 120th of X extra, which is equal to 3000. So am I getting the 3000? Am I getting the X value? Yes, sir, I am getting the X value. But my requirement is not the X value. My requirement is what is that? Three part is equal to 3000. Then B got how much less? So here B was supposed to get 75 parts, but he gets 40 parts. He got less? Yes, he got less. How much less? 75 minus 40, that's 35 part less. So when 3 part is 3000, then 35 part will be 35,000. 1 part is 1000. Then 35 part will be 35,000. How do I get 35 parts? You are supposed to get 75 parts, but he got 40 parts. The difference is 35 parts. Right? So if you are understanding how did we get this one, then this is what the solution for this question. Please write down. Let's know about proportion. Till now we discussed couple of basics of a ratio. We learned the basic of ratio. There are too many things to be add on that. So that will be done in the due course of discussion of the practice paper and all. So we will go with the proportion. What is proportion? Some of you must be knowing when the two ratios are equal, we call it as they are in proportion, proportional or proportionate to each other. For example, A is to B is 2:3, and there is another ratio C is to D, which is also 2:3. So I will say that ratio 1 is equal to ratio 2. Yes or no? Because this is 2:3, this is also 2:3. So both the ratios are same. So the ratio 1 is equal to ratio 2. Then they are called, these four terms A, B, C, D are called, they are in proportional. That means A is to B is proportionate to C is to D. We write this way. Whereas A is to B is nothing but 2:3. Whereas C is to D is nothing but 2:3. Now, did you notice that here one property is there, product of extreme. These are the first, this is first term, this is second term, this third term, this is fourth term. Sometimes they give the three values and they will ask to find out the fourth term. So this is fourth term, right? So first term, second term, third term, fourth term. And you find that whenever the two ratios are in proportion, then the product of extreme, these are called extreme, the A and D are called extreme. The product of extreme is always equal to the product of mean. I am writing this one, that is product of extreme is equal to product of mean. Look, what does it mean here? AD is equal to BC. Check that is correct or not. 2 into 3 is 6, which is equal to 3 into 2, which is 6. That is simple definition of a proportion. What is proportion? This is what the proportion is. Please write down so that it will be there in the note. Then we will be keep moving to the next part. These things will help you write any exam. After the degree, obviously you will be writing many more exams other than simply SSC-JE. You will be writing many more exams. Degrees are degree over for all of you? Over, right? So you will be writing that SSC-JE, the steel plant comes out with the management training, you will be also writing those part, and some of the others. Exams of CGL, graduate of SSC exam, couple of bank exams, some of you are interested if, or railway recruitment examinations and all. So these are the core topics of the arithmetic. It will come, we have to learn for any of these exams. Now coming to a few properties, I will write down those properties here itself if your writing is done. This is if A by B is equal to C by D, that means they are in proportional. Then you can always write it as B by A, which is equal to D by C. I just reverse it. Left hand side reverse and also right hand side reversed. So it is called internendo. Let me write down here. Internendo. The same way if I do that, this is A and bring the C over here. Second one, that's A by C, which is equal to, that's B by D, cross multiplication. B by D. It can also be written as, we call it as alternando. This part. Write it down. It's not that ratio is over. We don't know what is componendo, what is componendo dividendo. There is a uses. The questions are framed on that. So let's learn it, because when we don't learn now, obviously when we are discussing some other topic, we will never come back to the property of ratios. The same way, that is if A plus B by A will be equal to C plus D by D. A plus B by B is equal to C plus D by D. So this is called componendo. Sorry. That's componendo. Same way we have dividendo. A minus B by C minus D. No, I'm sorry. A minus B by B. is equal to C minus D by D. This is plus, componendo, dividendo, minus. So fourth one, that is A minus B by B is equal to C minus D by D. Now finally, componendo, dividendo. Divide this is dividendo. Componendo, dividendo. Now you might have heard that by property of componendo, dividendo, this result comes. In the solution, some of the solutions you will find this one. What is componendo, dividendo formula? So when I divide this third one by fourth one, what will happen? Third divided by 4. So 3 divided by 4. So what will happen in that case? So you see that B and B will get cancelled, D and D will get cancelled, and finally you get A plus B by A minus B is equal to C plus D by C minus D. And this is the formula most of the time we get to use this to solve the question. So that is A plus B by A minus B is equal to C plus D by C minus D. This is called componendo, dividendo. Sometimes in the solutions they simply write by componendo and dividendo, this is what comes. So then you are expected to know that one side A by B, the another side C by D, then A plus B by A minus B is equal to C plus D by C minus D. That's what. Now one important part you are expected to know, how we use this. Let me give a small example in order to understand. If I ask you to simplify, this is 5x plus 14, simply I randomly taking some numbers, that's 3x minus 14, which is equal to 4x plus 9 by 2x minus 9. So if I ask you to simplify this, then what you do here, look at this one, it is something like A plus B by A minus B kind of format. Okay. So if I use the componendo and dividendo, what happened in the numerator over here? So that is 5x plus 14 plus 3x minus 14. Yes or no? So plus 14 minus 14 will get cancelled. So I will be left with 5x plus 3x, that is 8x. Let's come to the denominator. So that is A minus B. So that is 5x plus 14 minus 3x and minus minus become plus, plus 14. So that is 5x minus 3x become 2x and plus 28, which is equal to, if I apply the componendo dividendo formula in the right hand side, then 4x plus 9 plus 2x minus 9 will get cancelled, this is 6x by 4x plus 9 minus 2x plus 9. So I left with 2x over here and 9, 18. So like that the things keep moving on. The x gets cancelled over here and it gets cancelled 3 times, this gets cancelled 4 times. Now look at this one, it is in initial stage it looks like a lengthy calculation, probably we will get some square quadratic equation kind of thing, but at the end it's not as what we thought of. So we will discuss some of the questions which are based on componendo and dividendo at later stage. Okay. Now coming to one important part, that is continued proportion. We have seen the continued ratio. Now we will go for continued proportion. What is continued proportion? Let's look at this one. A is to B is equal to 2 is to 3 and B is to C is equal to also 2 is to 3. What makes it to an continued proportion? This B present in both the ratio. What make it to proportion? Both the ratios are same. Ratio 1 is equal to ratio 2. Therefore, they are in proportional. Yes or no? What makes it to continued proportion? Continued proportion, that is B and B is common here. So, therefore, it's become a continued proportion, which I write this way: A is to B is proportionate to B is to C, where product of extreme is equal to product of mean. That means B square is equal to A into C. Then what is the mean? Mean B. So, the mean is equal to square root of AC. Yes or no? That is B square is equal to AC. Then this is what the mean is, which is there in the first one, there in the second ratio also. So, the mean is equal to square root of other two terms. So, this formula we need to mean is equal to square root of other two terms. So, I request you to please write down this part. Done? Okay. Now, few simple question. Question 1A, find fourth proportion of 5, 8 and 15. B, third proportion of 16 and 36. C, mean proportion of 16 and 64. Okay. The first one is very, very simple. You are asked to find out the fourth proportion. You already know that 5 is to 8 is proportion to, I am working on A, or proportion to 15 is to X. This is what the fourth proportion. And we know the property, the product of extreme is equal to product of mean. So, I will get the X value. So, let us do that. 5X is equal to 8 into 15. So, therefore, X is equal to 3, 8, 24. Done. Coming to the next one, third proportion. Whenever they ask us for third proportion and there is only two terms, then be sure that the given one is an continued proportion. They are asking the third proportion and we have only two terms, then the given one is a continued proportion. So, how do we work out for that? So, I will be writing here the B. So, that is 16 is to 36 is proportionate to 36 is to X. That actually comes it as fourth. But as it is a continued proportion, this is one number, there is another number, and I need this one which in turn they called is the third number. But the expression in the proportion will be third proportion. So this is first proportion, this is second proportion, and this is third proportion. You need to consider this way. And then answer it, that is 16x is equal to 36 into 36. So here nothing but 4 into 4. So then with 4, 1, 9 and 9. So that is x is equal to 81. That's what. Remember the language, third proportion. And then only 2 terms are there. That means we are expected to know 16 is to 36 is proportionate to 36 is to dash. Write down this one, sir. Now coming to C. With this we can conclude. Your time is up to 1, right? And Vamsi Krishna. Time is up to 1, I think. Okay. Last consider. Competition is easy provided we learn the right way of answering the question, and we will learn all the shortcuts. Don't think that initially we have to learn the theory and all, and wherever the shortcuts are there we will definitely apply for that. So you don't need to worry for that. V pilot. Okay, now the C, what is that? This one, mean proportion of, this what the question is, right? So mean proportion of 16 and 64. Look at this mean proportion is equal to square root of other 2 terms, Lohit, right? So that is I need the square root of 16 into 64. So from square root, if you take out 16 outside, it's become 4, and if you take 64 outside, it's become 8. So 8 4 is nothing but 32, right? So tomorrow we will learn the last part of it, variation, introduction part of variation, and then we will discuss some of the basic questions, followed by moderate level of questions to difficult level of questions. Okay. So I expect each and every one of you will come tomorrow. Okay, right. Thank you, and all the best to all of you. The next class is on Wednesday. Acha, sorry, I don't know that. So then Wednesday. Okay, right. Thank you.